that you? Is that you?
What's up everybody, it's EJ. Thank you all so much for tuning into another video on the Mazdaspeed 3. Today we have amazing news. I have recently found, actually listed today, a Eonon Head Unit aftermarket stereo upgrade for the Mazda. So today we will be taking out our stock stereo unit and we will be replacing this with the Eonon touchscreen, wireless CarPlay, all that. Today will be like sort of like a two-parter. We're gonna do the head unit, and I also have something secret that we will get to later in the video. Let's just crack on and getting this head unit out and getting it ready for the aftermarket one we'll be picking up in just a few days. We'll pick that guy up, we'll come back, and can't wait to show you. All right, it's out. We got it. Brampton, but that's okay. Took a little drive with wifey. Got the bad boy. Everything we need is all hooked up, so we'll test it back at the house. Like I said, we do have a little surprise. Here it is. Let me do the grand reveal. So along with this, we do have an amp installation kit, and we're gonna be connecting all these up to our new head unit, which I will also show you. A lot nicer than the factory one, just a nice touch screen. So I did plug it in, but I will go through all the clips in the back. I'll pull it back out. So I think it's gonna go smoothly. We have everything we need. So let's get hooking this guy up into the car. Okay, so let's pull this guy back out. Here we go, big mess of wires. I do have some bad news. Got this thing off Marketplace. Don't do it. Save yourself the headache. Get one off Amazon or the whatever website, whatever, for whatever vehicle. This isn't the right one for the Speed 3, I believe. It doesn't recognize I have the BOSE system in the back, but that's okay because we are hooking up an aftermarket sub anyway. Also, this little white plug, we have the big white plug. So the little white one is your auxiliary port for in there. Now, I don't have the connector for this because the guy on Marketplace didn't have it. Now, I will probably be trying to maybe make one, but that being said, it's just to hook up to your, well, that's the sub, that's video is the yellow, to the red and white RCA cables. So we're gonna have to try and makeshift one to use the auxiliary for listening to music. Otherwise, it works fine. I can still hook up to Bluetooth and CarPlay. So this thing works great. Anyway, let's get this thing installed. Plugged all this in after I got it to make sure everything worked. Unfortunately, I noticed that we don't have this cable. So it's another 16 pin, I believe, to the input RCA cables for these red and whites and whatever. So the yellow one is the video input you could do for the backup camera. The green is the subwoofer, which we are going to connect today. And the only ones I'm missing is for the auxiliary power, but that's fine. And there's only 3 connectors behind your head unit. So it's this guy, which I don't have. This little gray one, little gray guy, I believe that's the radio. That is the radio. This guy is power to everything else. There you go. And then we're just gonna flip this guy back down, clip everything into place, and that's all we gotta do. Other than that, we're gonna hook this sub up, so stay tuned, follow along. Let's just hook that up, let's go. Wire comes down right under this guy. Eventually we're just going to tuck him all along the side under there, but for now this will go all the way to the front. All right, well, we got So power cord's coming in from the left side. Now we're gonna focus on our remote wire and our RCA cables. We're gonna do the same thing, just coming up from the right side. So again, we're just gonna tuck them in all the way down here, but we're gonna start from the stereo unit so we don't really have to come back up here for these again. Let's hook these up. Still haven't quite figured out how or where the RCA connectors go to the Eonon unit. I know this is the subwoofer right here. I'll come back there after. Let's just run these into the trunk because we know they're going there. So bear with me. I will be right back. Oh my days. Okay, we have it all in the sides of the doors and the carpet. Okay, everybody, a million hours later. Yeah, so power wire and RCA cables have now switched sides. Power cable is on the right side, passenger side, going up through, God, I don't even know if you guys can see that, somewhere up in there, coming out of, we had a little hole. Oh yeah, right there. So we're coming out of here, we're coming down through the back of this firewall here, all the way along, and we're coming out, where are we? Down around here, up through the back of the battery housing, and that is that power cord. And eventually we'll be connected into this guy. Nightmare, absolute nightmare to deal with, but it's all there now. RCA power cable. Might have to get a RCA Y to 1 input to pick one of those up because it's only a single sub out. Anyway, got it all. Now we're gonna try and hook up the rest. We do have a ground cable and the speaker wires to hook up to our amp and then to the back of the sub. Fill you guys on what is currently happening. So wasn't sure where we're gonna mount the amp, but figured I'm gonna mount it right to the back of the sub. So everything's looking all right. I need to get a RCA double to single splitter, I guess, so we can connect it up into our subwoofer connection. And luckily these are all labeled, but I figure I'm gonna have to grab a splitter for my RCA cables. Until then, I'm gonna put the car back together. I got a seat sitting over here, I got mats everywhere, I got tools everywhere, so I'll clean some stuff up and I'm gonna have to find that splitter. Subs hooked up, aftermarket, the new BOSE speakers, the door speakers are hooked up, the new head unit is hooked up, and we're just dialing in all the sounds and the frequencies. But man, this thing is sounding amazing. We have full surround sound with the aftermarket sub now, so I'll quickly walk you guys through, let me turn that down. I'll quickly walk everybody through how I got this thing hooked up. I did need to call in some backup. Shout out to Dad for that. Just walk you guys through how we hooked everything up, starting with everything in the trunk, and we'll take it from there. Yes! Oh, it sounds so good. Woo! Let's do a quick rundown of what is going on. We have our RCAs, we have our speaker wire. So 1, 2 is for one speaker, the bottom 2 is for the next speaker. Next we have our power cable is the red, our remote wire is the blue, and our ground is the black. Back into the car. Our RCA and our remote cable are run up this side, the driver's side, into the head unit. Our RCA has now, we have bought a splitter, 2-into-1, that plugs into our, the sub output, the little green guy. Our remote wire is connected to a vampire clip, which is spliced into the amp control wire, which is labeled on the back of the head unit, which is also a blue and white wire, so those kind of match up. That's good. The power wire, it has run up into the engine bay. So our power wire has run up into the engine bay behind this firewall, back through here, black cable right in here. And what you're gonna have to do is we have cut the power cable, snip about 15 or 20 inches, and wired it each end into our little fuse housing. After you've connected everything without power, connect everything without power first, make sure everything's good, everything's locked in, no wires are hanging out anywhere. Then you can run your power cable to your battery. Again, snip the power cable, the big red one, about 15 inches, give or take, from the very end of it, which is gonna hook onto the battery. You're gonna wanna get your fuse housing, connect all the bits you need, should wire one end into it, secure it down, wire the other end into it, secure that down. You should be good to go. Make sure everything's grounded in the trunk. You're gonna have to pull up your trunk liner, find a nice clean bolt. I found a few, just pick one, secure that down to the ground. Come back to your remote wire. You're gonna have to get your vampire clip, connect all those bits up. Once you've figured that out, connect everything to your battery. You know, if you're not getting power to the amp, that probably means, like I did, I had to take a few cracks at finally getting that vampire clip to, you know, bite the wire. Should get power running to your amp, and when you turn the car off, you'll notice it'll still stay on for a few seconds, everything will switch off. So if you're not getting power right away, don't fret, turn your car off, check the vampire clip if anything. That was the cause for mine, and then you should be good to go. On that note, thank you everybody for checking out the video. Subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Going to Auntie? Okay. To the car. Woo!
Slippery for her.
That was the trip to the park.